Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the 1987 American League replay. This is game number 125 on the season. It's one of the, whoops, let's turn the volume down on my other thing here. It's game number 125 on the season, and it's part of the April 26th block. And we're in Minnesota, the Metrodome, the Homer Dome. And it'll be the California Angels against the Minnesota Twins. Starting pitchers, Blyleven for the Twins and Urbano Lugo for the Angels. Lugo only had 5 starts and only pitched 28 innings, so he was not carded, but I do have the computerized version of the card, so we can use him for that. Minnesota enters the game 8-10. California enters 6-12. Blyleven enters the game 3-1. Of course, Lugo, this is his first start, so he has no one-loss record. Might be a second start. I have to look it up, but he has no one-loss record. Ballpark effects. Singles are big time here in the Metrodome. Lefties 1-16, righties 1-13, home runs 1-11 for both. Minnesota won the game in real world 10-5. Wild pitch for Blyleven's a 10, balk's a 0. For Lugo, he's going to automatically wild pitch anytime it comes up. He's a 20, but a 0 balk. Pitcher catcher hold, a +2 for Blyleven and a -1 for Lugo. So look at the starting lineup. So we got Downing, the DH, Devon White, Wally Joyner, Doug DeCinces, Jack Howell, Daryl Miller catching, Schofield, Pettis, and McLemore. And then for the Twins, Gladden, Lombardozzi, Puckett, Herbeck, Gaetti, Smalley, the DH, Bernansky, Laudner, and Greg Gagne at shortstop. So I hope you are having a relaxing Sunday morning here on Super Bowl day. I'm not that interested in the Super Bowl necessarily, although I used to be a big NFL fan back in the day. And I was a, fairly big Chiefs fan back in 4 or 5 years ago, but NFL just gotten to be where it's almost too predictable what's going to happen, and it's kind of hard to watch. But I'll watch the commercials. No desire to watch the halftime show. I'd watch the Puppy Bowl before I watch the halftime show. All right. Enough preambles out of the way. Looks like on my laptop that everything is showing up about as well as it can. Let me see if the light will help. Maybe I'll get a little extra light on the subject. Maybe too much light, but we'll see. Whoops, I keep messing with it. It's going to mess up my lineup here. So my alignment, I should say. So I better leave it alone. Better leave well enough alone. Sometimes that's a life lesson. Leave well enough alone. All right, so we're going to distract computers so I can start scoring this as we play it. Blyleven on the mound. He's 3-1 with a 4.40 earned run average, 29 innings pitched, 17 hits, 15 walks, and 27 strikeouts. So the walks are a little high, but other than that, he's doing fairly well. And Brian Downing, the designated hitter, will lead things off for the Angels. And Downing is hitting .310, 6 homers and 13 runs batted in. So pretty good for a leadoff man to have that many home runs. Very, very Ricky Henderson-like, actually. So let me do one other thing to make sure. Looks like everything is as good as I can get it. So we'll go ahead and sally forth with it and see how it plays out. Got our dice here, nothing fancy, just blue and white. Nothing. Both teams kind of have the same similar color, so there wasn't really an advantage there. All right, so Blyleven is ready, Downing is ready, and we are ready, so let's get going. It's a 5-7, and that's going to be a ground ball shortstop X. So right away, we got an X chance, and that X chance belongs to Greg Gagne. So we'll see what Gagne does. He's a 2. 2 and a 7 should be good enough. 2 and a 7 ends up being a G2, which is good enough. So now we go to the error ratings at E24. So he has to avoid these numbers here, 4, 6, 15, 17, and 18. Got to avoid those 5 numbers. That is a 16, and he does. Look at that. Errors are 15, 17, and 18. That's a 16. So Gagne is able to avoid the error and throw out Downing for out number 1 to start the ball game. So Downing is retired. That brings up Devon White, right fielder, for the Angels. I'm still drinking on some coffee, so if you hear me slurp something or clear my throat, it's probably because I'm dealing with coffee. 260 on the average for Devon White, 1 homer and 4 driven in. That's a 4-8, switch hitter batting left, and that is a strikeout for Blyleven. So Blyleven rings up Devon White. That's 2 away for Wally Absorbing Joyner. Rookie of the year in 86. Decent year in 87, no doubt about it. 87, he still had 34 home runs and 117 runs driven in on the season. Right now, he's hitting .304, 3 homers and 9 runs driven in 69 at-bats. That's a 2-7 for Joyner, and he's going to get on base. 1-4 is a double. That's a 12, so it'll be a 2-out single for Wally Joyner. Joyner no threat to run, so he will not be held. And it brings up third baseman Doug DeSensei, cleanup hitter. And DeSensei on the replays kind of struggling a little bit in 50 at-bats. He's hitting .220. Does have 3 homers with 7 runs driven in. First havoc roll of the game, nothing happening. And so Blyleven to DeSensei. Get a 4-8, and that is another strikeout for Blyleven. So relatively pedestrian inning for Bert Blyleven. Gives up the single, but nothing else. After half an inning of play, it is California nothing, and the Twins coming to bat. And Urbano Lugo, again, not carded because he has such limited innings pitched. But he did start this game. He did go 5 innings in the real game. So he is up to pitch. And Lugo on the replay, this will be his, it looks like it might be his 3rd start. I can't tell. He's got 14 innings under his belt. So he's 0-0 with a 3.77 earned run average. And he was a 9.32 in real world. So he's doing much better. 14 innings pitched, 15 hits, 7 walks, and 12 strikeouts. He's going to face Dan Gladden. Gladden hitting .345 in 29 at-bats, 2 homers and 6 driven in. It's a 1-9, and that's a leadoff walk for Gladden, and that's not good news. You don't want to walk the leadoff man, especially one that can run. Gladden, to get the jump, needs a 4 through 6 to get that lead. He does not get the lead, so he will have to hold as Lugo was able to freeze him there. And that brings up Steve Lombardozzi. Lombardozzi is an A bunter if they choose to go that route and play small ball early. And I think that's what they're going to do. So the Angels suspect that, so they bring the corners in. And with corners in, that will turn him into a B bunter. First thing we do is figure out who it goes to. The bunt's going to go to the first baseman, Joyner. So Joyner will be the one making the play. And as a B bunter, he basically needs a 9 or less to have a good bunt. And it's a 9 exactly, which is a good sacrifice. So sacrifice is successful. Call it 3-4 as Joyner throws to McLemore covering first base, and the successful sacrifice textbook is done by Lombardozzi. And that sets things up for the big boys, Puckett, Herbeck, and Gaetti. So Puckett stands in, and Puckett is hitting .284, 2 homers, 6 driven in. Gladden is being held at second base because he's got good speed. They want to keep him from getting a big lead on a base hit. That's a 2-3 for Puckett. That's a fly to center field, B question mark. That's 2 down. And let's see, would they send Gladden to third? He's in scoring position from second base, so no sense testing anything. They're going to leave it up to Kent Herbeck in a clutch situation. And Herbeck is hitting .277, 5 homers, 13 driven in. In the clutch, Herbeck is not, well, he gains a hit on 112. He will get an extra hit on 112. So he's a little bit better in the clutch situations, but we will find out. 2, chance of a balk or a pass ball. Chance of a balk on Lugo, but he's got a 0 balk rating, so nothing to worry about there. 2-7 for Herbeck, and that's going to bring home the run. 1-11 is a double. That's a 13. It's a single, but it's 2 stars, and that's why he didn't mess with Gladden. He was going to score on a hit anyway. So RBI single for Kent Herbeck. And the Twins take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first on the RBI by Herbeck. And that'll bring up Gaetti. Gaetti on the replay hitting 278, 3 homers, 14 driven in. Lugo trying to... Hello, Razor. How you doing? That's a 4-7, and that's going to be a 1-3 double. 4-20 is a single. That's a single, but it's 2 stars. So Gaetti gets the base hit, keeps the inning going. Herbeck will take third. Gaetti will have to be held. He won't go anywhere, but he's got an asterisk by his name, so he's going to have to at least be held at first base. So that could open up a hole on the right side of the infield. Here's Roy Smalley, the designated hitter. And Smalley is hitting 209, no homers, 7 driven in. So not off to the best start. I don't know who Kendrick Lamar is, so you'll have to educate me on that one. And here's the pitch to Smalley. 6-5, switch hitter batting left is a ground ball shortstop X. But Gaetti was being held, so the shortstop is involved. So Schofield will turn to a 3 instead of a 2 because he's responsible for holding the runner. And that could make a difference there with a 4. So a 3 and a 4 and a 2 and a 4 are 2 different things, allegedly. 2 and a 4, well, actually, it would still be a base hit because he was holding the runner. So 3 and a 4 is going to be a single with 1 star. So that's going to get through for a base hit. Herbeck's going to score. And it's an E12 on Schofield to check for an error. He's got to avoid 15, 3, and 18, which he does, but it's going to be a single 1 star for Roy Smalley. Herbeck will score. Gaetti will take second. 2-0 Twins. Lugo can't get out of the first. Here's Tom Brunansky, right fielder. And Brunansky checks in, hitting 283, 3 homers, 7 driven in. Same to you, Larry. Hope you safe travels out there, especially if there's any kind of inclement weather. Or in that time of the year where you can get that. Here's Brunansky, 5-7, and that's a walk, and the inning's going to continue. So it's going to load the bases with 2 outs, and Tim Laudner, the number 8 hitter. Oh, okay. That's why I don't know. He's a rapper, so that means I don't know him because I don't follow rap music. So, and I won't be watching the Super Bowl, the halftime highlights for sure, the halftime entertainment. All right, here is Tim Laudner, and Laudner's hitting 250. He's only 2 for 8, limited duty, 1 home run and 2 runs batted in. But the bases are loaded with 2 outs, which is a clutch situation once again. And he gains a clutch hit on 2-5 and 3-3. So good clutch hitter. 3-4, he just missed it, but it is a walk, and it's going to walk in a run. So Lugo walks in a run, and the inning continues. It's now 3-0. And the number 9 hitter in the order, Greg Gagne, is coming to the plate. So Lugo can't get out of his own way. He's pitching more. He's pitching more to his card ERA right now in this game. So maybe the law of averages are catching up to him. Here's Gagne. And Gagne is hitting 333, 2 homers and 6 driven in. That's a 210, and it's a ground ball to third base B. So they finally get out of the inning of fielder's choice, 5-4. But the Twins put up a field goal. And at the end of 1, it is 3-0 Minnesota. As the Twins let everybody bat in that inning. They've given Blyleven a 3-0 lead to work with, which if you're the Angels, is not a good thing. So left fielder Jack Howell will lead off for the Halos. Howell, is hitting 302, no homers, 4 driven in. That's a 5-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. Lombardozzi is a 2 E18. 2 E18. 2 and a 12. He will get to that. So the E18 he's got to worry about at second base is 13, 3, and 18. He's got to avoid those 3 numbers, 13, 3, and 18, which he does. So Lombardozzi will make the play. 1 away. And that will take us to Darryl Miller, catcher. Miller, limited duty, only 15 at bats. He's hitting 200, no homers, 2 driven in. Weiner's been doing a lot of the catching, but Miller's catching today. 3-8, and he draws a walk. So 1 out walk to Darryl Miller. He is no threat to run. And that will send up Dick Schofield, shortstop. Schofield on the replay, struggling at $1.75, no homers and 5 driven in. Blyleven to Schofield. 1-6, and that's a ground ball shortstop B. It's a fielder's choice, 6-4. Unable to turn the double play, though, but they do get the lead dog as Gagne flips to Lombardozzi for out number 2. Schofield's a new runner. He will have to be held. Blyleven is a +2, so chance for him to get in a scoring position. So he's going to see if he can get that lead. A 4 or a 5 gives him the lead. He does not get the lead, so he will hold. That turns it over to Gary Pettis, center fielder. Pettis is hitting .333 and 66 at bats. No homers and 10 runs driven in. So the no homers doesn't surprise me. The 10 RBIs kind of do, because he only had 17 runs batted in the whole season in 394 at bats, and then 66 at bats, he's got 10 driven in already. Very interesting. 5-5, switch hitter batting left. 1-7 is a home run, but he has weak power. 8-20 is a double. That's a 3, so it's going to turn to a single 2 stars. It actually cost him. Had he got to the double thing, Schofield probably would have scored, but it's a single 2 stars when you fail on the home run power result. But Pettis will get a single, and it will put runners at the corners with 2 down. Now a clutch situation for Mark McLemore, second baseman. And McLemore is hitting .220, 1 homer and 10 driven in. And on the clutch results, he loses 2 singles at .29 and .210. So he's definitely anti-clutch in that column 2. So Blyleven to McLemore. That's a 6-8 switch hitter, and that's a strikeout. So Blyleven gets out of it, getting the K on McLemore to end the inning. And the Angels strand 2. Go to the bottom of the second, 3-0 Twins. Now Lugo will see if he can do a little bit better than he did in the first inning. They don't want to really go to their bullpen if they don't have to. Now there is an off day tomorrow for the Twins, but not the Angels, I think. If I remember correctly, the Angels will be playing. So Downing. Hello, Mr. Ivamy. How you doing? Downing will lead it off against Lugo. Grounded to not Downing. What am I doing? The Twins are batting. It's Gladden, the other leadoff hitter, the other white meat. So Dan Gladden walked and scored to lead off the game. 3-9 for Gladden. He's going to ground it to short this time, and Schofield will take care of it. 1 away. Brings up Mr. Lombardozzi. Lombardozzi had a sacrifice bunt his first time up. 5-6, right-handed, and that's an in-home run chance directly. He has normal power. That's gone. Look at it again. 5-6 on Lugo is an in-home run chance. He has normal power against righties, so that is gone. Steve Lombardozzi, his first home run of the season. RBI number 5, and the Twins lead it 4-0. And Lugo may not be lasting too much longer in this game. He went 5 innings in real world, but that could be problematic right now. Here's Kirby Puckett. Flew to center his first chance. 1-6 for Puckett, and that's trouble. 1-13 is a double. That's a 10, so Puckett will double. Okay, so now everybody's getting in on the hit parade. Puckett will not be held at second base. Here's Kent Herbeck. He singled. First time up. Nothing on the Havoc. 3-10, and that is a walk. So Lugo really on the verge of being removed from this game. Angel bullpen is loosening. Chuck Finley, a lefty who's got some length, and Mike Cook, a righty who's also got some length. So it looks like Mike Cook, who's also got some length. He's got a relief rating of 3. So Mike Cook is loosening in the Angel bullpen in back of Lugo, as Lugo may not be lasting too much longer. Here's Gaetti, first and second, 1 out. That's a 2, chance of a balk or a pass ball. Again, no balk rating for Lugo, so no worries there. 6-9, and that's a walk. So he didn't balk, but he walks, and that's going to load the bases. And I believe that might do it. They're going to go ahead and pull Lugo. They can't go any further with Lugo. So Lugo will exit, and Mike Cook will be coming on, the new pitcher, Mike Cook. And he'll be facing Smalley with the bases loaded and 1 out. So Cook is on, and we'll add him on the computer. And Lugo will exit stage right, as he just couldn't get it done. So Cook on the replay is 0-0 with no saves and an ERA of 0. 7 innings pitched. He has not given up a hit yet. He has walked 7 and struck out 4, but he has not yet given up a hit. So they're hoping that will continue, but he is walking 1 man per inning, so that's troubling when the base is loaded like that. Here's Smalley. He singled his first time up. Bases loaded. Infield is, boy, how do they play this? They're going to play for the double play. Smalley's got some A's on his card. They're going to play for the double play. So Cook facing Smalley. And that's a 4-5. Switch hitter batting left is a strikeout, and a huge one from Cook. That's out number 2. Now the infield can go back to its normal depth for Tom Brunansky. And if Cook can get out of this, it keeps the Angels in the ball game. Right now it's just 4-0, but it could be a lot worse if Brunansky gets a base hit. So Brunansky loses a clutch single in 1-2. So he's got to avoid the 1-2 to avoid that clutch single loss. 212 is a ballpark single check, and for the Homer Dome, that's good. 1-13, that's a base hit. It's only 1 star, but it'll be an RBI single as everybody moves up 90 feet. And it's now 5-0. That run is charged to Lugo, and that'll bring up the catcher, Tim Laudner. 5-0 Twins here in the second. 2-6, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. So all in all, Cook didn't do too badly. Keeps things at 5 runs when it could have been 7 or 8 runs easily. And we can finally close the book on Lugo, and I'm sure the Angels are glad to close that book. So Lugo's going to finish with an inning and a third, 5 hits and 5 runs, all earned. He walked 5 and didn't strike out anybody. So 5 was the magic number for Lugo. Not what he wanted, though. And Bert Blyleven's been given a 5-0 lead as we go to the third. So he can be in cruise control, perhaps. And Cook's there just to eat some innings. They want to get at least 3 or 4 innings out of Cook if possible to save that bullpen. So top of the order for the Angels, it'll be Downing. And Downing, his first time up, grounded out to Gagne. Check something real quick before I continue. Something's really amiss here. Is there too much light? Maybe there's too much light. It's like it's got bright all of a sudden for some reason. I don't know why. That's why I'm glad I checked it. Turn this light off. Maybe there's too much light going on here. I think there was too much light. We got light coming in from the window, so I really didn't need this light. So hopefully that's better now. Hopefully we got better vision now. The autofocus is still kind of on this thing, doing its thing. So Downing facing Blyleven, 5-6, and that's a 1 for a double. Anything else is a single, so Blyleven will get the base hit. Single for Blyleven. A single for Downing, rather, off of Blyleven. Downing will not be held, not going to go anywhere. And here's Devon White. He struck out his first chance. That's a 2-5 for Devon White. It's a ground ball shortstop A. That's a tailor-made 6-4-3 double play. Just what the Angels did not want. But Blyleven will take it. It's pretty good to get and strike out when he needs it, or the double play when he needs it. And there he got the double play. Here's Joyner, singled his first trip. 5-12 to the lefty. It's a ground ball, shortstop X. That is Gagne. He's a 2E24. 2E24. 2-17 is good all day long. That is a G1. And his shortstop E24. He has to avoid 4, 6, 15, 17, and 18. Last time he rolled a 16 and just barely got around it. This is a 9, so I believe he's good all day long on that. Yes, he is. So good play for Gagne. Getting a true hop on that turf, and that's going to end the inning. So leadoff single comes to no fruition, and we go to the bottom of the third. Still 5-0 Twins. Can't always get close games. There's going to be blowouts, unfortunately. And I'm not the entertaining type to keep things entertaining during a blowout. I'm kind of just playing it as it is. So don't know how entertaining the blowout is, but hopefully you just like the process. Here's Gagne, 3-11, and that's a line out to third base to Sensei right there. One away, and that's going to flip the order over to Gladden. And Gladden is walked and grounded to short, 0 for 1. Does have a run scored. 3-9, and that's a ground ball to short, and that's going to be handled by Schofield. 2 up and 2 down, so maybe Cook can give a little stability to the Angels pitching. Here's Lombardozzi, homered his last time up. 4-11, right-handed is a ballpark single check. It's 1-13. That is a base hit, so the Metrodome yields some hits. Lombardozzi will not go anywhere, not be held. And here's Kirby Puckett. Puckett has flown to center and doubled. 3-9, he will fly to center again. That's going to end the inning. So a scoreless inning for Mike Cook. Kind of trying to stabilize the Angel staff. Still 5-0 as we head to the fourth. Blyleven in complete control. And he'll be facing Doug DeSensei, followed by Howell and Miller. It's a 1-4. It's a ballpark single check again, 1-13, and that's a base hit. So the Metrodome provides hits for both sides. Doesn't play favorites. DeSensei will not be held. And here's Jack Howell. He grounded to second his first trip. Blyleven looking for another ground ball double play. 4-9. Won't get it here. That's a ballpark blast. 1-11. He's got normal power. That's a 3. It's gone. Jack Howell has put the Angels on the board with a 2-run blast. We'll look at it again on the replay. And for Howell, that is home run number 1 on the season. RBIs 5 and 6. But once again, 4-9. Ballpark blast against the lefties. He has normal power. That's a 3, so it's gone. And all of a sudden, now it's a 5-2 game. So Angels creeping back in. Here's Darryl Miller. That's a 4-7. And for Miller, 4-7 is a ground ball second base X. That will be Lombardozzi. He is a 2. 2-16, he will get to that. E18 is the question. And on an E18, he's got to avoid 3, 13, and 18, which he does. So it's good play for Lombardozzi for out number 1. So 1 away. And that will send up Dick Schofield. Schofield, first time up, hit into a fielder's choice. That's a 6-7. That's a strikeout for Blyleven. Out number 2. Schofield is out of there. And here's Gary Pettis. 2 out spaces clear. Pettis singled his first trip. That is a 3-9 for Pettis, and he will draw a 2-out walk. And he will be looking to get the lead. He needs a 5 or a 6 to get that lead. Does not get it, so he will hold. And Mark McLemore is your batter. That is a 2-8 for McLemore, and that's a single 2 stars, so that'll put runners on the corners. Angels are not done yet. McLemore will have to be held. He's going to try to get the lead. 4 through 6 gets him the lead. He does not get the lead, so he's got to hold. But Brian Downey is up. He is the tying run at the plate, so Blyleven does have to be careful. That's a 6-8, and that's a fly to left field. That's going to end the inning. So the Angels leave 2 very important runners on. They do get 2 runs thanks to the Jack Howell homer, and they've cut the lead to 5-2 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. And Cook will be back out for yet another inning, trying to keep the Twins at bay. And let's go to the Strat computer and put this inning in the books here. Schofield strikes out, and then a walk to Pettis. Single by McLemore and a fly to left. And we're ready to go for the bottom of the 4th. Kent Herbeck steps to the plate. He is singled and walked. 2-9, and that's going to be a 1-12 single. That's a 4, so it's a base hit. He's 2 for 3. Actually, he's 2 for 2 because he walked. It didn't count against him. So he's 2 for 2 is Herbeck. That'll bring up Gaetti. Gaetti, 1 for 1, a single and a walk. 4-6, and that's a line out to third base, so it's snagged by DeSensei. And there's 1 away. 1 down, and that brings up the DH Smalley. He's 1 for 2, single and a strikeout. It's a 5-9 switch hitter, and that's a walk. So it's going to put 2 on with 1 out for Tom Brunansky. No runners are being held. Cook could actually use a double play here. 1-6 doesn't get it. 1-9's a single. That's an 11, so he's going to line it to short. And that's out number 2. So now it brings up Tim Laudner in a clutch situation. Runners at first and second, 2 outs, and Laudner will gain a hit on 3-3 on the clutch. So he has a slight clutch advantage. Also gains a hit on 2-5. That's 2-3, which is a ballpark single check, and that's going to be a base hit, but it's only 1 star. It's going to load the bases. So you get the ballpark single, but you don't get to advance very far. You get 1 base. Now here's Gagne with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Could be a tipping point in the game. If Twins score a couple runs here, they could put the game away. 2-2, and that's a foul out to Miller to end the inning. So the Twins leave them loaded, and they keep California in the game. And we go to the 5th. Still 5-2. Favor the Twins, but Angels still hanging around. Bert Blyleven has a fatigue of 7, so he's still definitely good to go here in the 5th inning. Devon White will lead things off for the Angels. See if I can get a little bit closer, maybe. I don't know if that helps. That might help a little bit. I don't know. Let's see how it's looking on my side here. All right, it looks okay. Okay, so we'll keep going. And Devon White. 4-7, and that is a leadoff walk to Devon White. Not a good thing to do, especially to a speedster like White. He's going to try to get the lead. Needs a 3 through 6. Does not get it. Boy, they just can't get the lead on Blyleven for whatever reason. And here's Wally Joyner. That's a 2-8 for Joyner, and that's a single to left field. That's going to put runners at first and second with the ball hit to left and down by 3 runs. They're not going to You don't want to make the first out at third base of an inning. So with one out, they might try it. With nobody out, I don't see the point in making that gamble. So a leadoff walk followed by a single puts runners at first and second with nobody out. And it takes us over to DeSensei. Blyleven could really use that double play right about now. DeSensei singled his last time up. 4-10, and that's a ballpark single check again. And again, the ballpark keeps giving up these singles. It's going to load the bases with nobody out. Angels are coming right back. The Homer Dome is giving up the single. It's more like the single dome because they're giving up a lot of singles. Bases are loaded for Jack Howell. Infield is looking for the double play. They'll give up a run to get 2 outs. That's a 1-8, and that's a strikeout. Big one, too, for Mr. Blyleven. Still not out of the woods by any means. Only 1 out, bases loaded. Infield still looking for the double play. And Miller, the batter. 5-8, and that's another strikeout for Blyleven. Boy, he's bowing up and putting a little extra on the curveball. There's 2 down. Now the bases are loaded with 2 outs in a clutch situation for Schofield. And Schofield loses some clutch hits on 1-9 and 1-10. So, and also on 3-9. So he's definitely anti-clutch. But the Angels are depending on him not to blow this opportunity to get back in the game. 3-2, and it's a line out to third plus a possible injury. So talk about adding insult to injury. They don't score with the bases loaded and nobody out, and then they possibly have an injury on Schofield. And according to the book, a 1-4 keeps him in the game. 5 or higher, he's got to be removed. So he's got to come out of the game. So Schofield not only couldn't get the job done, but he's injured himself in the process and has to be removed from the game. So the Angels will have to go to their bench for another shortstop. And the only one I see on the bench is, let's see here. Let's go to the computer to make sure he's on the roster. I'm pretty sure he is. Yep, Gus Polidor. Don't know that much about Gus Polidor, but he is the only guy on the bench that's ready to play short. And he will take over for Schofield. So Polidor takes over for Schofield. Polidor, shortstop in the 5th. A big 0 there for California. Polidor at shortstop is a 3E10. We change the 2E12 to a 3E10 for Polidor. So Schofield will get checked out by the trainers. He should be ready to go for the next game, but he's gone for the rest of this game. All right, here's Dan Gladden. He will be leading off against Cook. And Cook has kept his team in the game. He has done exactly what they asked him to do, and that is keep his team in the game. Cook to Gladden, 6-9, and that's going to be another walk. So Cook issues the free pass to Gladden, and now Cook is tired. Computer tells me he is now tired, but they're going to try to keep him going a little bit longer. His hold rating is a 0, so with Miller there to -2, so it's a -2 on the hold. So Gladden going to see if he can get the lead 4 through 6. He does not get the lead, so he has to hold. And here's Lombardozzi. 2-6 for Lombardozzi. Ground ball third base A. That's a 5-4-3 double play. Perhaps Lombardozzi should have bunted like he did last time, or to start the game, rather. But he did not, and he hits into the 5-4-3 around the horn double play. And now if they can get Cook through this final out, then they can turn the game over to the rest of the bullpen. Puckett, 4-8, and that is a ground ball to third, and they've done it. So Cook's going to get out of this inning despite being fatigued. And he will do very well for himself. That's going to be all for Cook. We can get the totals on Cook. Hello, Mr. RJL, or should I call you Mr. Lurker? You can lurk. That's all right. I lurk in your stream sometimes and don't say anything. So just depends on my mood. All right. So Cook's going to go 3 2/3 innings, give up 4 hits, but more importantly, no runs, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. And we'll figure out who the new pitcher is going to be in the bottom of the 6th. Right now, Blyleven back out. Still holds a 5-2 lead. And he'll be facing Gary Pettis. It'll be Pettis, McLemore, and Downing. So the first 2 guys definitely with good speed if they can get on the bases. But they just haven't been able to get the good leads off of Blyleven today. Pettis, 310, and that is a single. So leadoff hit for Pettis. You know he's looking to run. To get the lead, he needs a 5 or a 6. And they finally get the lead, so he can finally go. 19 being held to 17, but then the +2 from Blyleven brings it back to a 19. So there he goes, and he's in there safely. So Pettis with the stolen base. Pettis with the steal. And for Pettis, that is stolen base number 2 on the season. He had 24 in real world. He's in scoring position. And he will be held at second base. He's at scoring position for Mark McLemore. Number 9 hitter is McLemore. And he is 1 for 2, single and a strikeout. That's a 6-9 switch hitter. Ground ball second base C. That will get the runner to third base. So the 4-3 ground out will move the runner to third base with only 1 out, where he can score on a ground ball because the infield is back. So any ground ball is going to score him. So here's Downing. Downing is 1 for 3. Looking to close the gap a little bit. 5-5, and that's a double to center field, so he certainly did it. A double for Downing makes it a 5-3 game as the Angels close the gap. Once down 5-0, it's now 5-3. So Downing is aboard, not going to be held. Here's Devon White. Now the Twins have to worry about Blyleven. He only went 6 innings in real world. 4-3, and that's a fly ball right field excess. Brunansky, he's a 2. 2 and a 15. Should be good all day long. 2 and a 15 for Brunansky is an F2. And let's see, his error rating is a 4. So he's got to avoid 3, 4, 15, and 18. And 15 is not going to cut it. That's a 2-base error on Brunansky. So how about that? That's going to score the run, E9. 2-base error, and all of a sudden it's a 5-4 game. And Blyleven's saying, what the hell? Devon White, the tying run, is at second base with only 1 out. He will have to be held there because he runs at a 17. Here's Joyner. 5-4, and that's an in-home run chance straight up. That is long, and that is gone. And all of a sudden, the Angels have taken the lead. Once down 5-0, they now lead at 6-5. Look at it again, 5-4. That's a straight-up in-home run chance. He's got normal power. It's gone. So Wally Joyner with the home run to give the Angels the lead. And for Joyner, that's home run number 4, RBIs 10 and 11. And just like that, Blyleven's in trouble. So home run number 4. Not bad. Home run number 4. It is now 6-5 Angels. And now Blyleven is fatigued. The bullpen is loosening for the Twins. Let's see who's available and who's not available. I think they're all available, but let's see who's maybe got the most rest. See how they want to play this. Klink is showing tired, their left-hander. So they're going to have to go to the right-handers out of the bullpen. So right now, Keith Atherton is loosening in the pen for the Twins. So they're trying to get Atherton ready as quickly as possible. Hello, Jimmy Jam. How you doing? So that's why the game's never over. It's 5-0. I was talking about blowouts, and all of a sudden, the Angels now have scored 6 unanswered and taken a 6-5 lead. 4-3, and that's a ground ball first base X. That's Herbeck. He's a 2. 2-18. He'll get to it. Now the error chance on Herbeck, his error rating is a 6. So at first base, he has to avoid 3, 13, and 18, which he does. And he's going to flip it to Blyleven covering for out number 2. So 2 outs. And that will send up Jack Howell. So dramatic turn of events here. 4 runs in the inning. 4-9, that's another possible run. It's a ballpark blast. 19, though, is going to be too much. And that will just be a deep fly to right. So Blyleven escapes that, but he does not escape the 4-run 6th inning. 4-score Abraham Lincoln inning here in the 6th. And that has put the Angels in the lead, 6-5. And the beneficiary of that is Cook. He can get the win. He could possibly get a win out of this. So we'll see what happens. That's all for Blyleven. He's done, and Atherton will take over. So we'll close the book on Blyleven. He's going to go 6 innings. Let's get the official number. It should be 6 runs, 5 earned, if my calculations are correct. Yep, giving up 11 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. So it looked like a good outing. All of a sudden, just fell apart. And that's going to be it for Mr. Blyleven. Now the Angels need a pitcher. The Angels are in need of a relief pitcher. And they're going to go to the left-handed version, which is going to be Chuck Finley. So left-hander Chuck Finley will be coming on to pitch for the Angels. He's got some good length as far as relief goes. So Chuck Finley will be on. And he's a -2 on the hold, so it's a total of -4 on the hold rating. And we see Atherton will be coming on in the 7th. He's a 0 hold, and Laudner's a 0 hold, so it's a 0. All right. So Finley will be facing we'll be facing Herbeck, Gaetti, and Smalley. Scheduled hitters due up for the Twins. And on the replay, Finley is 1-3, but his ERA is 6.94. 12 innings pitched, 14 hits, 8 walks, and 10 strikeouts. Lefty on lefty matchup, 6-8, and that is a trouble. 1-16 is a double. So Herbeck greets Finley with a leadoff double. And the Homer Dome with the offense is still holding up true to form. And that brings up third baseman Gaetti. Herbeck, of course, not being held at second base. That's a 3-9 for Gaetti against the left-hander. That's a fly to center field, 1 away. 1 down. Takes it over to Roy Smalley. Switch hitter will now turn around and bat right-handed against the lefty Finley. 5-9. And that's a fly to left, 2 down. And that'll send up Brunansky. Clutch situation against the left-hander. He loses a clutch single on 3-12. (1-5), and that is a double 1-9, but that's an 18, so he's going to fly to left again, and the Twins leave Herbeck at second base to end the inning. We've completed 6. It is California 6 and Minnesota 5. Didn't see that one coming for sure. Yeah, Jimmy Jam, I already did the Atlanta Braves replay in '87, so I really didn't want to revisit that again. That's why I chose the American League, although I do prefer no DHs. But American League had a great '87 race as well, and some good players as well. So Keith Atherton will be your new pitcher for the Twins. And he'll be facing Darryl Miller, Gus Polidor, and Gary Pettis. Remember, Polidor had to come in for the injured Schofield. 5-7 is a solid single for Darryl Miller. So once again, Angels with the hitting shoes on get a base hit. And here's Gus Polidor, his first at-bat of the ball game. Get his totals for you. Polidor enters the game. He's 1 for 3, 333 average. He's only had 3 at-bats, so he's 1 for 3. So obviously not enough to go. And that's a 1 chance of a wild pitch for Atherton. And Atherton's wild pitch rating is 3. So no wild pitch. Here's the pitch to Polidor. 6-7, and that's a ground ball, second base X. The runner Miller was not being held, so Lombardozzi will keep his number 2 rating as the Twins try to turn a double play, but a 2 and a 4 is not going to cut it. They'll get to it, but it won't be a double play. 2 and a 4 is a G3, so the runner's going to advance since he was not holding the runner. The pound sign does not come into play. And Lombardozzi is an E18, so he's got to avoid 13, 3, and 18. Which he does, but it's a G3, so the runner's going to advance. Lombardozzi's only play was the first base, so it acts like a sacrifice bunt. And into scoring position is Miller with 1 out, and that's going to bring up Gary Pettis. Miller not being held at second base. Pettis. 4-7 is going to be a ground ball, second base X. So once again, Lombardozzi to the task again, and number 2. 2 and a 12. We'll see what that happens to bring. 2 and a 12 is a G1, but since it's hit to the right side, the runner's going to get third automatically anyway. And like we saw last time, E18, he's got to avoid 3, 13, and 18. Which he does. So it's a ground ball to second. It's going to move Miller to third. But now there are 2 outs. And coming up is McLemore in a clutch situation. McLemore has no clutch effects on his. Actually, he loses 2 singles on a 9 and a 10 on column 2. He will lose those 2 singles in the clutch. So he's definitely anti-clutch. That's a 2-11. So we just missed the bogus clutch things, and we've got a home run chance 1-3, and that is a 3. Look at that, folks. That is a 3. If I was playing robbing home runs, we could try to rob the home run, but I'm not playing that. But that would be a perfect example of trying to rob the home run. But I haven't done it all year, so I'm not going to start now. I'm going to be consistent. That is a 2-run home run for Mark McLemore, his second of the season. And RBIs 11 and 12 as the D20 was kind. And all of a sudden, it is 8 unanswered runs for the Angels as they now take an 8-5 lead. 8-5 lead. And let me go and get this done here. One thing I forgot to do on the computer was to put Atherton in the game. So I've got to undo this whole inning and make sure we've got Atherton in the game, so these things are charged against him, not against Blyleven. So a little oversight there. So Miller is your leadoff man. So now I can bring in Atherton. Should have known that because I didn't give you Atherton's stats. Atherton's 0-1 with 2 saves and a 3.75 earned run average. So for Atherton, he gives up a single to Miller, a 4-3 ground out, another 4-3 ground out, and then the home run to McLemore. And there we go, 8-5 is your score. Here's Downing. 2-10, and that's going to be a 1 single. Anything else he lines to short, and that will end the inning. But a 2 spot for the Halos, and they take an 8-5 lead. Definitely didn't see that one coming when it was 5-0 Twins. But that's why you play the game, and that's why you roll the dice. So 7th inning stretch time here in Minnesota. And it's 8-5 California. And we'll do some adjusting here, hopefully. See if we can get something going here. Finley will be facing Laudner, Gagne, and Gladden. We are in the 7th, so we could pinch hit if we like, but they're going to stick with who they've got right now. That's a 1-11 against the lefty, and that's a fly to right with a possible injury. So Laudner might be gone in this game as well. 1-4, and he's going to be staying in the game. 5 or higher, he's out. He's out of there. So Tim Laudner will have to leave, and they will have to bring in their backup catcher Nieto to finish the ball game. Or they could bring in Mark Salas, but Nieto's a little bit better defensively, so they will bring in Nieto to catch. So Nieto will have to come in. He is going to catch in the 8th inning. Nieto. And Nieto is a 2 with a +2 and an E1, so it's pretty decent defensive catcher. And he will have to take over for Laudner. Here's Gagne. 1-8, and that's a 1-16 triple. That's a 13, so Greg Gagne is going to triple. A 1-out triple, and now the Twins are in business. Try to cut into this lead. Infield, of course, is back for the Angels, rather. They'll give up the run to get the out. And here's Dan Gladden, top of the order. It's a 3-11, and that is a fly ball right field B ? Chance for a possible tag up here. The right fielder, Devon White, though, does have a -3 arm. So we'll see what happens here. He's a 17. You add 2, makes him a 19, but the -3 is a 16. You still have to send him 1-16. So 1-16, it'll be a sacrifice fly. And it is. So sacrifice fly is good. Brings the run home. And they cut into that lead. It's now 8-6 on the sacrifice fly from Dan Gladden. So White had the good arm, but it wasn't enough. Run is in, and here's Lombardozzi with 2 outs and the bases clear. Oh, well, we got hopping dice again. We get a 6-4, and that's going to be a strikeout. Twins get a run, cut the lead to 8-6. As we go to the 8th. Keith Atherton back out for his 2nd inning of work. And he will be facing White, Joyner, and DeSensei. Again, their lone lefty in the pen, Joe Klink, is rated as tired, so I don't want to use him. He needs the day off, so they'll have to go with other folks. So Devon White will lead it off. 1-10, and that's a ground ball right back to Atherton. 1 away. One down, and that's going to send up Joyner. Hit the big 2-run homer his last time up. That's a 6-11, and that's a ballpark blast again. 1-11. That is an 11. It's gone. Look at it again. Joyner does it again. 6-11. 6-11 is the ballpark blast. He obviously has normal power. It's a 1-11 home run. That is an 11. So that is gone. And again, if you were playing robbing home runs, you could do it here, but we're not playing that. So it's a home run, number 5 for Wally Joyner, his 2nd of the game, and it makes it a 9-6 game. RBI for Joyner, number 12. His number 12. Home run number 5, RBI number 12. And it is now 9-6. So here's the Sensei. 3-4, and that's a pop out to Gaetti at third. 2 down. And that will send up Jack Howell. 2-5 for Howell, struck him out. And that's going to be it for Atherton. He's going to go 2 innings, and that's going to do it for him. He's going to give up 3 runs in those 2 innings as well. So let's get the numbers on Atherton. He gives up 3 runs. He's going to give up 3 runs, all earned on 1, 2, 3 hits. Doesn't walk anybody, strikes out 1. And they'll figure out who the new pitcher is going to be in the 9th for the Twins. Depending on what the score is, I guess. It could be a mop-up roll, possibly. Finley out will be facing Puckett, Herbeck, and Gaetti. So the heart of the order, this is the time for the Twins to make hay right here with the heart of the order coming up against Mr. Finley. Bottom of the 8th, it is now a 9-6 game. 9 runs, 14 hits, no errors for the Angels. 6 runs, 11 hits, and 1 error for the Twins to this point. .47, and that's going to be a 1-8 single. That's a 12, so he's going to line it to short. 1 away. Puckett is out of there. Brings up Kent Herbeck. That's a 1-7 for Herbeck, and he struck him out. So 2 down. Finley possibly could be going for the 4-inning save, perhaps. Or maybe the official score would give him the win. It's hard to tell. Here is Mr. Gaetti with 2 outs and the bases empty. 3-7, and that's a strikeout again. So Finley, 1, 2, 3 on the Twins. And we go to the 9th, still 9-6, your score. Donnie Moore is loosening the Angel bullpen. They might try to bring him in for the save. We shall see. Right now, the Twins need a new pitcher. And they will go with George Frazier. So Frazier will be coming on to be the new pitcher. And for Frazier, he comes into the game 0-0 with no saves, an ERA of an even 2, 9 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. And he will be facing Miller, Polidor, and Pettis here in the 9th. 5-5 against the right-hander is a strikeout. So 1 away. And Frazier's hold rating's a +5. But I don't know that the Angels are going to necessarily be running, but you never know. Polidor is up after the strikeout to Miller. That's a 2-5, and that is a line out to second base. That is out number 2 as Lombardozzi snags it. Here's Pettis. Now we're getting the guys that might try to run if they get on. Pettis has gotten on base 3 times. 3-6. Does it again with a walk. So why not try to get the lead? Be silly not to. 5 or a 6 is going to get that lead. Does not get the lead, so he will hold, and here comes McLemore. 4-8, switch hitter batting left is a 1-2 single. That's a 3, so line out to Lombardozzi to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Twins. They are down 9-6. And Chuck Finley is back out. Got him this long. Might as well keep using him. He's going to have to rest anyway, so why not use him? Coming up for the Twins in the 9th, Smalley, Bernansky, and Nieto. On the bench, they do have Mark Davidson, a pretty good right-handed pinch hitter. Smalley Decent average, though. But for Nieto, they could pinch it for Nieto, and they still have Mark Salas on the bench. So looks like it's going to be Smalley, Bernansky, and Davidson. So Davidson would pinch hit for Nieto. But first things first, you got Smalley and Bernansky to deal with. Smalley is 1 for 3. It's a 4-9, switch to batting right-handed. That's a single. So leadoff single for Roy Smalley. He will not be held, will not go anywhere. But that's what the Twins need. They need base runners. Here's Bernansky. Donnie Moore ready in the bullpen if needed. 1-6 for Bernansky. 1-4 is a single, but that's a 14. He will line it to short. Out number 1. They'd like to reward Finley for his efforts, though, unless he gets into real trouble. So now for Nieto, he will be called back, and Mr. Davidson will come in to pinch hit. And on the replay, Davidson's hitting .211 and 19 at bats, 1 home run, 1 run batted in. He does pretty well against lefties at times. It's a 4-12, and that's a ground ball first base C. That'll get the runner to second base, but that's at this point not what they want. So the Twins down to their final out, and it's Greg Gagne. He did triple his last time up. Smalley, of course, not being held at second base. Finley to Gagne. That's a 2-7 against the lefty. Struck him out, and there's your ball game. So how about that? The California Angels fall behind 5-0 after 2 innings and come back and win it by the score of 9-6. That's why games pretty much are never over. You never know until you roll all the dice. So we'll go to the box score and get the official results. See who the computer determines is the winning pitcher. And they have determined Cook is the winner, as I thought, and Finley gets his first save. So Cook gets the win. He is 1-0. Finley is going to go 4 innings, give up 3 hits and a run, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. So for the Angels, 9 runs, 14 hits, and no errors. For the Twins, 6 runs, 12 hits, and 1 error. Losing pitcher is Blyleven. He drops to 3-2 on the season. Home runs in the game. Joyner had 2 of them, his 4th and his 5th. Howell hit his first, McLemore his second, and Lombardozzi his first. So there's your ball game. Final score 9-6. And with that victory, the Angels improved to 7-12, and the Twins dropped to 8-11. So the Angels only 1 game back now of the Twins. But everybody's staring up at the A's. And that is the next game in the replay. Next game in the replay will be Seattle and Oakland. Trujillo for Seattle against Rijo for Oakland. That will be game number 126 when the time comes. Probably Tuesday, I'm guessing. Could be Monday. We'll see. I don't know. But most likely Tuesday. So the Angels do what didn't seem possible, but they did it. And they win it 9-6. So I do appreciate all you guys spending part of your Super Bowl Sunday morning with me as we get game 125 in the books in Strat-O-Matic Super Advanced 1987 style. Hope you have a wonderful Super Bowl Sunday. Enjoy being with... Hello, Philip. I didn't see you come in. I'm sorry. And Gigi didn't see you either. Sorry about that. Hope you enjoy your time with your friends and family during your Super Bowl party. If you have to drive home after Super Bowl party, make sure you drink responsibly and be safe. We want to see everybody back on Monday. Don't forget tomorrow night, All-Star Game 1983 on Inside Pitch for RJL Network, 1983. So be sure to check that out tomorrow night. And tonight, Super Bowl is what it is. I would normally be more enthused a few years ago than I am right now, but I am a Chiefs fan, so to speak. But I was a Chiefs fan back when they sucked back in the 70s. So I'm not a Johnny-come-lately when it comes to the Chiefs. I've been a long-suffering Chiefs fan back in the 70s. So I liked them ever since they, back in the Hank Stram days. Ed Podolak, Len Dawson, Otis Taylor, trickulating the ball down the field, that kind of thing. So I did like them back then. But it's getting so predictable, and even as a Chiefs fan, I noticed that the referees kind of give them some breaks. So I'm not going to sugarcoat that. There are some questionable things that go their way. So, but I'm not invested in it. If they win, they win. If they lose, they lose, and I don't care. It's not going to affect my day tomorrow. It's not going to affect my pocketbook. I have no money on the game, so there you go. So I do appreciate everybody spending part of your Sunday with me, and hope you have a great Super Bowl weekend. I'm going to go reheat my coffee and get things set up for future games, so that I like to have it set up before after I finish the one game. I like to set up the next game in advance, so when I'm ready to play, I'm ready to play. I don't have to worry about doing the setup. I'd rather do it now while I'm in the mood. So I'll do that offline, of course. So final score again: California rallies from 5-0 down and wins it 9-6. Winning pitcher Mike Cook, losing pitcher Blyleven, and the save to Chuck Finley. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.